According to the information revealed, the Fire Tribe, also known as the Ash Tribe, is a group of Na'vi living in a volcanic wasteland, a scorched region where Awa seems absent. Unlike other clans who worship Awa as a guardian of life and connection, the Fire Tribe no longer believes in her, or more precisely, they believe Awa betrayed them, abandoning them in a dead, barren land with no greenery and no spiritual connection. That despair has turned them into an angry, isolated, and aggressive faction of the Na'vi. Their symbols, red and black, represent fury, pain, and scorched earth, in direct contrast to the greens and blues of tribes who still live in harmony with Awa. Unlike the Ometikaya or Metkayina, the Water Tribe, the Fire Tribe is said to interact with fire unharmed, a sign that they have biologically adapted to their harsh environment. Yet it also symbolizes how they've grown distant from nature and become more like humans, seeking to control nature rather than live within it. After Part 2, The Way of Water introduced the oceanic world and the Metkayina tribe, audiences realized the Na'vi are not a monolithic people, but a diverse community with unique cultures, beliefs, and ways of life shaped by their environments. The Water Tribe represents harmony with the ocean, patience, and unwavering faith in Awa. They live by the rhythm of the sea, gentle, yet fierce when threatened. In Part 2, the Metkayina welcomed Jake Sully's family, showing they still uphold the tradition of aiding fellow Na'vi. However, if a conflict with the Fire Tribe breaks out, these values will be put to the ultimate test. The core of the conflict between the two tribes isn't about power or resources. It stems from wounds that have never healed. The Fire Tribe carries deep pain from being abandoned by Awa and harbors resentment toward the tribes still under her protection. That sense of betrayal has smoldered for generations, until an outside force steps in. Humans exploit this to incite war. Quaritch, a symbol of manipulation, is seen proposing an alliance with the Fire Tribe, turning them into pawns in a greater game. When faith in Awa fades, so too do the moral boundaries. The Fire Tribe may no longer see the Water Tribe as Na'vi kin, but as favored enemies, protected, privileged, and therefore worthy of attack. This war could also be seen as a clash between two value systems. One side represents connection, forgiveness, and harmony, the Water Tribe. The other side embodies rage, vengeance, and survival at any cost, the Fire Tribe. This is a clear metaphor for real-world conflict, where differences in belief, historical trauma, and collective wounds spark deeper wars. Can Awa, symbol of wisdom and life, still unite her children? Or will Awa's silence in the Deadlands only fuel the flames of war? The war between Fire and Water tribes would not only cost lives, but could permanently fracture the cultural and spiritual fabric of the Na'vi. If belief in Awa no longer unites them, the very foundation of Pandora's society could collapse. Young characters like Loak, Kiri, and Spider will be forced to choose not just sides, but the future itself. All signs point to civil war no longer being a threat, but an inevitability, unless something powerful rises from within. The clash between the Fire and Water tribes marks a major turning point in the Avatar saga. It not only expands the scale and complexity of Pandora, but also poses a painful, necessary question to the audience. If we divide and hate each other, then who is the real invader? If Part 3 truly follows this path, it will be more than just a visual spectacle. It will be an emotional tragedy, where the Na'vi must face their own darkness and learn to forgive, to heal, and to survive together. What are your thoughts on the conflict between the Fire and Water tribes? Can these differences ever be reconciled, or are they destined to spiral into hatred? Drop a comment below to share your thoughts. Because maybe, just maybe, a part of Pandora lives within you too. War doesn't always come from the outside. Sometimes, it's grown from within us.